Hello, peep. Look at how bright the sunshine is. I love it. Yes, beautiful, beautiful day here in Florida. Welcome to Sunday Investment Chat. It has been a while. Yeah, it has been roughly 2 months since I have any kind of Sunday investment chat. Hello, Jay Boyden and Glycine. You see all that empty boxes there? Yeah, that's what has been going on the last 2 months. Yeah, uh, it went well. I can't say enough about how much I appreciate everyone that participate in the auction and the giveaway. Speaking of that, now that I am uh, making good headway in shipping out, I think I pack up and ship out about 13 um, of the winners as far as people that bid on the auction. So I now have a lot more free time. Hello, Wobblers, to pack up the books for those that bought some stuff at the beginning of the process. You know how I show what's in the boxes. I went through there was 7 short boxes and 1 long boxes. There were a bunch of people that claimed a bunch of stuff for $1.50. Now I have free time to take care of those people. So feel free to shoot me an email if you bought a few things here and there in the beginning of the process. Remind me of what it was that I set aside for you, and we will see how we can get going with those. Hello, XXX. Um, some of the stuff that I supposed to set aside for people, I may have pack it and give it away by accident, because when I was going through the boxes and put in the free stuff and pull out the free stuff, some people wanted something from the free pile and offer me money for the free pile. Some of the stuff may have not pulled out correctly, okay, because already one book, my Fool Killer #1, somebody wanted that book. A viewer wanted that book, and somehow I misplaced that because I look all over the place for that book for the past week for that one viewer and cannot find it. So sorry about that. So yes, Jay Boyden, I set aside the Hawk 181 9.4 in the vault for you for the fair price. Hello. Yes, John, I still have that book set aside. And hello, Dante. Um, Speaking of which, now that I am uh, showing you the empty boxes, and this is Sunday Investment Comic Chat, no doubt the topic should be for today is the exit plan. Okay, much like any investment, when I buy a stock, I have a plan. I have an exit plan on what I am going to do with that stock should it go to a certain level. There is no such thing as buy a stock, put it away for my grandkid. That is so 1980. Okay, it's that kind of thinking is done and out for most people. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong, but not here. That is not something that I have any intention of doing with any stock position I bought, with the exception of one. My very first stock that I bought way back when I was 18 years old. Yes, I bought not a stock, I bought a couple share, but it was McDonald's. I bought a few share of McDonald's when I was 18 years old, and that position has grown to a few $1,000s. So that might be something that's gonna go to my grandkid, Anthony's kid, and on and on and on, just because it's kind of a fun story to pass along. But when it comes down to comic books, for me, there is an exit plan, okay? And for many people, as much as you are obsessed about these things, hopefully you have an exit plan. Even if your exit plan is, I am never going to sell something and I am going to give it to my kids, at least put in instructions in your will so that if your kid who has never collect, have no interest in collect, don't care one bit about your obsession, know what to do with your collection after you are dead. Okay? So have at least that kind of common sense to do something so that when you are dead, your children or child or wife, people that you left behind, are not saddled with a room full of garbage. It's not garbage to you, okay? But I can assure you, a lot of people don't care one bit about what you think are all that, okay? It is not. Uh, Someday, Doc, if you want to collab on this topic, can go on for many videos because a lot of people, this is not an easy topic for a lot of people, because a lot of people are too obsessed with stuff that they can't think past getting rid of them. And in many ways, I would say this: it is selfish to not give a damn about what happened to them after you are dead. There's a lot of people that approach this hobby like, you know, I don't care. This bring me happiness. All of this stuff bring me happiness. And I don't care after I die. Yeah. You know, some of you might be like that kind of people, okay? It's if that's your thinking, yes, I said it here out of my mouth, is selfishness. Because unless unless you have no one that you leave behind, if you have no relative, no children, no wives, no cats, no dogs, nothing to leave behind, then when you're dead, estate sales. Speaking of that, there was one two door, oh, next door, not two door, next door. You know, quick segue. I have lived here in this house since 2011. Okay, 8 plus years, 8.5 years to be exact. And the person next door is a elderly woman next door by herself, and her house is just as big as my house. She never talked to me. The only time she talked to me was the first year that I lived here. She complained. She walked over and complained that one of my tree leaned over her side of her property and shed leaves, and she would like me to do something about it. I had my lawn people trim some branches because, she asked me to do so. That's the only time in 8.5 years. I see her. I see her in a driveway here and there. Well, last month I got a knock on the door, and a policeman was there. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? A policeman is like, well, I have a few questions for the person living next door. Do you know that person? I'm like, no. He said, do you know if that person have any relative? I said, no. Never talked to her. I spoke to her once my first month living here 8.5 years ago, but that's it. Don't even know her name. Never say hi. We have had a few neighborhood party. Other people have thrown them, and we have participated in those neighborhood parties. This woman has never participated in anything. It turns out, well, the police told me, well, she's in the hospital. She's very ill, and look like this is the end. So it's my duty to try to track down next of kin, relative, so that we can get ready for the end. Well, I don't know what happened. All I know was last weekend, well, this weekend, Friday, was the big estate sales. They were the whole street was blocked with so many cars. I couldn't even get out of my driveway because the vultures was picking on the carcass. Okay, it was so many people at the estate sales buying all kind of trinkets and furnitures and you know who knows what. Insane. Okay, so back to the topic. If that's what you plan to do, is pass away and just leave all that garbage behind or all that stuff behind and let other people deal with it, then just know it is selfish. Especially if you have loved ones, you have people that you care about, at the least leave them instruction on how to get rid of them should they not care about your stuff. You may love them, but for them, it could be just garbage, okay? JS asked that she had a lot of loot. I don't know. All I know was there was a lot of people. The garage and driveway was filled with stuff. You know, there was this table set up, all kind of stuff. My wife got into an argument with the lady that was setting it up because she was trying to get to work, and she's just like, "Hey, you're blocking my." You know, our street is very small. Our street is very small. If there's car parking on both sides of the street, people would have a hard time driving through it. So it was, you can do it, but you have to be careful. If this car parked on both sides of the street, it turned into a one lane kind of thing, and it was madness. I was so happy 3 hours later when all the vultures are gone. Iconic point say hopefully she's okay. She's not okay. Uh, it turns out she had brain cancer. That's what the other neighbor told me. One of the neighbor was nice enough to go to the hospital last month to pay her a visit, and she had brain cancer, and she's on her the end. The end was here. They would not have it. The estate sale. I mean, she was. I think she's gone. We don't. I don't know. All I know is the SUV that was on the driveway is gone for a while. Okay, and I know one of my neighbor across the street has been very nice in help. I'm hoping that on her deathbed she gifted the house to my neighbor across the street. Across the street is a family of four. They have been renting that house as long as we have been living in this house. They could not afford it. It's a nice family. They have two sons, and their son go to the same school as my son. They are 1 2 years younger than my son. They play together. They play basketball together, but it's not a well-to-do family. But they love this neighborhood. They love how safe this neighborhood is. And I'm hoping, I did not ask, I didn't dare to bring up the topic. I'm hoping that that old lady with no relative, no next of kin on her deathbed have give them the house so that when it's all said and done, they can move out of their rental home and into that house. I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers for that family. Please let that happen because I know they have been looking to buy a house for the last 4 years and they just could not afford. They both working. Both husband and wife are working people. They're not lazy bum. They work. They just cannot afford to live in this area with the current income and the way the housing market is. So I'm hoping. Indeed, glycine, get a will. Back to the topic. The exit plan must exit. Okay, I have an exit plan. It's in my will, but also my exit plan is going right on schedule. I have said it for a long, long time that, by the time I'm 60, I really don't want to have a lot of books left in my collection. I love this hobby, but at the same time, I don't want to be shackled by the stuff in my closet. And part of that right here, this is the beginning of the end, okay? A thousand books. Yes, I was able to get rid of 1,000 books in the past month and a half. Okay, it started out 7 weeks ago, roughly. Yeah, over 1,000 stuff are out. Okay, yeah. Yes, JS, I'm still young, but I like to enjoy my life. I do not want to be sitting around my house packing, boxing, listing, scanning in my 60s. No, I'm not sick. Come on. Have some common sense. It has nothing to do with being sick. It has to do with some common sense of not hoarding shit. Uh, it's the exit plan has to be there for everyone. Um, it's I'm just saying it for me. You can have your exit plan at age 75 if that's where you want to live. If you can predict the future that I'm gonna live until I'm 90, so I'm gonna start selling when I'm 65. Hey, if that's your crystal ball, go at it. Uh, I don't have a crystal ball. My dad is 84 this year. My wife, parents are all in their mid and late 80s. So we have good genes. Okay? We have good genes. So, barring some kind of catastrophe, um, I can see myself in the 80s as like the old man. But I also like to enjoy life in many other ways. And part of it is not, certainly, I don't see myself on YouTube 10 years from now. Okay? If I'm on YouTube 10 years from now, it's more about making videos with me and my wife, enjoying our retirement years. It's not about what is a hard book this week. No, not 10 years from now. No, not gonna happen. Um, yeah, I mean, I will be on YouTube. I can see it. I don't see myself like, what else do I do? Why do you think I'm on YouTube daily? I don't work. I already don't work. It's a lot of people that had not followed this channel. Let's make it very clear. I'm 53 years old. I'm fairly young, and also the reason why I have so much time buying, selling, flipping comic books for the last many years because I already retired. Uh, no, I do not work. Uh, I have been successful enough with my business, my accounting business, the stock market, all that stuff, that I went into semi-retirement about 10 years ago when my son was born. Uh, how much do you need to retire? Um, Tough questions. I mean, if you if you want to go and live in the Philippines or the Thailand or other places where the cost of living is a third of what we have here, then you can live well over there. And a lot of people is doing that. A lot of people, retiring overseas where they get a lot more for their dollar. Uh, but it's all depend. It all depend on where you live. That question really doesn't have an answer. You can have $1 million and you will not be able to afford to live for 20 years in New York City, right? I think most people will agree that $1 million in New York City might not be enough if you plan to live for 20 years. So, uh, but if you have $1 million and you retire in Asia, not every part of Asia. Hey, in Japan, Korea, that's very expensive. Singapore, very expensive. But if you retire in the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand. There's a lot of places in Asia that where the cost of living is a third of what we have here. And if you like Asian food, like I do, uh, you can retire and live well in Asia for 20 grand a year. Hello, Tony. How's the slapping business going? For those that do not know, Tony Trombetta has taken on one of the biggest challenge I can think of in this hobby. So big kudos for him for trying it and doing it. He started another grading company. If you're not familiar, hit him up on his channel and you will see Tony Trombetta, the fourth grading company. From what I heard, he's busy enough to keep going. So yeah, best of luck to you. Um, it's a huge task. I would not dare. I would not dare to venture into doing that. Okay, I would not even dare. So starting a business not easy. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, I'm always a huge fan of people taking a leap. But yeah, so back to exit plan. Okay, my suggestion to most people is that if you have no plan to sell anything, if your plan is to pass it on to your children, a child, or your wife, whatever it is, have a will like I do. I have a will, and in my will it says specifically the three company that she or my son should contact if they are to liquidate whatever's left of my collection. Heritage, Comic Link, and Comic Connect. The three of them. Okay, it has nothing to do with if I like either company or which one. I will let them fight it out on which one will get the business from my family. So, it's important to set things up, okay? It's important to set things up for the long run. I mean, I have many friends in their 50s that never even thought about doing a will. Yes, there are a lot of people that don't think about that kind of stuff. They don't want to. Even if they think about it, they don't want to. Okay, I'm not gonna be the kind of person to sit here and trying to convince you that that's the right thing to do. I'm just telling you that's what I am doing, and I think not thinking, not doing it is a selfish thing because you are going to leave behind a bigger mess than you can imagine. You know, for anyone that has never sell anything, okay, if you have never sell anything, trust me, it is not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. Selling is much more work than buying. Much, much more. Much, much more. I can't stress enough to people that have never sell before that it is a lot harder. When you buy, guess what? It's all about just looking at the books, click on the buy button, right? And then bang, it show up on your door. Or if you go to a convention, take a look at the book, hand over some money, some little haggling, and bang, you got the book. It's so easy. It is so easy. It's so easy to accumulate so many books. Okay? Now JS saying right here, selling is easy on Comic Link. Well, guess what? It's easy, but it takes work to get to Comic Link, right? It's about A, you either had to submit the book to CGC yourself, or go to a store to submit all that stuff, or send the raw book to Comic Link and have them. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna sell some book, I'm gonna ship a box to CGC. Not that simple, okay? And it's simple if it's me or you. Is it simple for somebody that have never dealt with comic books? No. It's that's why I stress about exit plan. You have to have an exit plan on what you're gonna do. At least write some instruction down so that the people that's left behind, like as far as my son, there's a question here about my son. My son does not collect. He has been around me long. He's 12 years old, so he has seen plenty of things going on with the hobby. He's seen books coming in. He sees boxes coming in all the time. He laugh about it's money, it's winning. Daddy is buying some stuff because that means that daddy's gonna be flipping for some crazy profit soon. He see that. He talk about, he asked me questions on, hey, are you gonna leave behind the action one? Yes, I have an action one. Are you gonna leave behind action one or Batman one and all that stuff? And I said, yeah, if that's what you want, and if we don't need the money, those are the last to leave. The action one, the Batman one, all that stuff, you know. And here's the other thing: for those that have never sold before, let me advise you one thing. When you sell, don't sell your good stuff first. Okay? Don't sell your good stuff first. Because your good stuff likely can appreciate a few years later, if not many years later, right? So if you have a 5 year exit plan, 5 years from now, your good stuff could be double, right? So there's no need to sell your good stuff first. Be patient with your good stuff. Sell your not so good stuff first. Things that are cheap, things that people don't care to buy for cheap because they're just readers, like the stuff that I sold. Okay, this is not comic investment stuff, so don't sell your good stuff first. Hello, Perry Comics. Correct JS. It's not. I wouldn't call it worse stuff or bad stuff. I just say stuff that doesn't have a investment potential. You know, and if you are buying stuff for investment, surely there got to be an exit plan, right? I mean, what is the point of buying something for investment if there is no exit plan? I do not buy a stock without a plan to sell it for a profit. What is the point? What is the point of all of this when it comes to the word investment if there is no exit plan? Merc with a mouth with a question. I just bought a 9.0 SS, so you talking about yellow label, and I think I can get a high grade. Um, I have seen another video. I saw a video of somebody. I think it was Bub's comic, and he has a book uh, that have a signature, and he talked about how he can't press, he can't crack and press, even though he think he can get a great bump. Well, if you bought a slab, especially CGC, I'm sure CBCS have something similar. If you bought a yellow label CGC book and you want to maintain that yellow label, then your only option, the only option of pressing, cracking, resubmitting is CGC. Okay? They will do that for you. They will keep the yellow label and press and crack and all that stuff and regrade. But that's the only way that you can do that. If you bought a yellow label and you crack it out yourself, press it yourself, well, guess what? Your only option left is go to CBCS with their verified signature option, right? So you can't do that if you have a CGC and you want to resubmit to CGC. You must submit that book to CGC for them to crack it, press it, and regrade if you want to do that with your SS yellow label book. JS asks, you have an action one? Yes, I do. I talk about that the past 2 or 3 years here and there, and just to make it clear, I will never show on YouTube. Okay, if my intention on YouTube was to show the big keys like many other channel like Lee Kirby Ditko or all the channel that like to flex, I would have done it right at the bat to get all the accolade that people like to do, that like to flex, because guess what, I own all those books long before I was on YouTube, so there's no need for me to flex that stuff. uh, uh, Eddie Eddie Lee, sadly, Coffee Stain, there's no way to get Coffee Stain out of the cover. Water stain, it is possible. Water stain or water ripples, moisture ripple, that can be removed for the most part. Okay, but any kind of stain, any kind of liquid stain that have color, tea, soda, Kool-Aid, coffee, um, anything like that will not go out, because it's just like, think about this. If you have coffee stain, Kool-Aid stain on a cotton shirt, do you know how hard it is to get that out without using bleach or something like that? Same thing. Paper fiber behave very similar like cotton fiber. So the only way to get something like a coffee stain or Kool-Aid stain or something that have color is use something that would deem restoration. So once you have something that have like color, it's very difficult to remove that stuff without using something that would become restoration by CGC or CBCS. Is it possible to lighten it with peroxide? I would not recommend it, because I believe peroxide is something that CGC would deem as cover cleaning. I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. This is just what I think. Okay, I don't know everything. Au contraire to many people that think that I am a know-it-all, I don't know it all. Uh, but I think using any kind of chemical, solvent, solution, anything that is not water, just water, I think CGC will ding it with a restoration thing as cover clean. Okay, so it's never hurt to ask a CGC grader. I have, if they are available to answer questions, you can ask them and they will tell you. Okay, it's nothing. The CGC forum is a very good resource to use as far as asking questions. So if you really want to know, go to the CGC forum under the restoration area and ask the question. And I'm sure the graders, the professional graders, will answer it eventually, as well as a lot of know it all CGC forum member. There's a lot of know it all members that will give you the answer. Hopefully, they will answer it politely without trashing you like you're trying to restore a book. Okay, just my saying. Eddie Lee asks, what stain can be lightened with distilled water? All of the stain that you mentioned, coffee, tea, well, anything that had color can be lightened with distilled water. Can be. Okay? How much is the big question. Okay? It's not going to go away 100%. It's not going to go away 90%. Okay? But can it go away 30%? Sure. I have seen it. I have seen it go away even 50%. But at the end of the day, here's the thing about the question. if you have a big coffee stain, let's say you have a big one, okay, and you reduce the darkness of it by 50%, is this going to change the grade? Most likely no. Okay, so cleaning, pressing is about understanding if the grade can be improved. Does it matter if the coffee stain is half as dark and is still this big? No, the grade is still gonna be bad. Okay, so my advice is if you understand grading, also understand to leave something alone if the grade is not going to improve. It doesn't matter if you can reduce the dark stain by half. The coffee stain is not going to go away. Okay. Um, let's see. Instagram is very popular with many collectors. I'm just, you know, um, I think I joined Instagram briefly 2 or 3 years ago. I still have my Instagram account on my phone. I just don't log into it that often because whenever I log into Instagram, it's a wall of pictures. Okay, and it's hard to follow. It's for me, for a lot of people that are active on Instagram, right? You constantly on it, clicking the heart, clicking like all that stuff, but eh, it's not for me. Uh, yeah, Comic Crypto stocks say cleaning a cover with water is restoration if they catch it. Uh, and that's the key word, if they catch it. Okay. Um, if you spot, use water on a certain area. And if you know, at the end of the day, the professional presser and cleaner know what they're doing. Okay. I can't stress enough about if you know what you're doing, you can do things that would be within the law, the rules of CGC and CBCS. It's always best to ask them on what is and what is not. Uh, I disagree with crypto in that water is deemed restoration because if I dunk a book in a if a book get into a rain, like all those books that is water damage, guess what? They have water in them. Okay, so CGC is not gonna be able to say it's restoration. Trust me, I know. Uh, it's just not gonna. If you have, let's say you have some kind of food particle on the cover and you use a wet, I have seen this on books that I know this is what happened. Okay, if you use, let's say somebody don't, let's say an inexperienced or a kid spills some food on his cover and he used a wet paper towel to wipe off the food, do you know what happened to that area? Loss of gloss. Okay, I have seen this on some books where you see a big wiping area where the gloss is gone because somebody used a wet something to wipe the cover. Well, guess what? That's what happened. That's not restoration. Nobody is dunking a book in water to do anything to clean, to restore nothing. So iconic point. Iconic point say now I understand why Nick does not do hot book alert. He has the ultimate hot book. In many ways, that's part of it. I mean, that's also part of the reason I don't do my top 25 books in my collection. No, no need to do that. I mean, do I need to flex? No, no need for that. Okay, I mean, the beauty about me talking like this in this thing is that very few people watch these kind of videos. I mean, my typical Sunday investment video may get 400 views, so it's not like 5,000 people on the community know that, oh, Nick has this or Nick has that. YouTube is a fun outlet for me. It always will be a fun outlet for me. It is not a place for me to flex. Okay, other people may think it is a place that I'm flexing. Um, I can't help it if that's what they think. Okay, I mean, I have my share of haters on YouTube, so it doesn't matter what I do. I'm not here to kiss ass, to make friends, and to do a lot of stuff that I'm not myself. I'm just here having fun, and if some people enjoy it, well, if flexing bring more popularities, then I'm not gonna be flexing because trust me, I am fine. Oh, speaking of popularity, okay, before I go, it's 10:41, so I still got 19 more minutes to go. I noticed that YouTube has changed their ad policy, and now they are dumping all kind of crazy ads, sometimes 2 or 3 minutes long. Please do not feel obligated to watch anything like that. Okay, trust me. I am not sitting through a 2 or 3 minutes ad on YouTube for anyone. So please, okay, if you're nice and you want to do it, I appreciate it. You know me on YouTube. I'm not here for begging. Okay, I'm not here to say please contribute to Patreon. Please click on this. Please click on that. Please, if you don't like what you see, get the f out. Okay, that's my slogan on YouTube. I'm not here to begging for popularity. So please do not feel obligated one bit to sit through a 2 minutes and 30-second ad on my channel, because I don't do it for anyone, even the people that I love to watch. I see that YouTube is doing double ads now. They throw in like a 15-second ad that I'm okay with. I will sit through that 15-second ad, but the moment that an ad popped up that said 2 minutes and 30 seconds, F you, I'm out. Okay, I skipped right over that stuff. So, yeah, so it's not about, I'm not here for popularity. I don't care. I mean, I'm pleased. Let make no mistake. I'm pleased that many people enjoy my channel and contents. It's far behind in quality, in production, and topics that many people love, right? Because people want hot books, top this, top that, top nothing, okay? There is, I can't even participate or watch those videos, to be honest, okay? So if you make those videos, just know ETA Nick is not watching top nothing. Iconic points say, Nick, how this for you? Exit strategy for YouTube, show your action one, and sign off comic YouTube forever. Why would I do that? I'm having fun here, right? If it's about flexing, yeah, but no. Eh. Um, Tony Trombetta say, Nick, do you have any other interest or hobby? Tony, you're fairly new to my channel. I will tell you, I got asked this question many times, Tony. Nick, what else do you collect? I got this question so many times over the past so many years. Um, I always answer the same thing. I collect comic books, and the other things that I love to collect is money. uh, I love to collect money. Without collecting money, they wouldn't be collecting comic books, okay, and many other things in life that I enjoy. So yes, JS said a while ago you said something about retiring from YouTube. I said something about taking time off from YouTube, and I took about 2 months. It was like January to the end of March. I had some personal issues that I had to deal with, family matters that I had to deal with. I take 2 months off. Uh, and hey, even if Michael Jordan can unretire, who the F does anyone have to say about what I can do with my time on YouTube, right? So, yeah. As I always say to a lot of people that ask many questions, sometimes you just have to mind your own effing business. Nothing wrong of asking the questions, mind you, okay? For those that know me, that's my personality. Is you know me. I said it many times. I it's my flaw, yes, my flaw that I believe that there is no such thing as a question that is not stupid. Yes, that's why I'm not a teacher. Yes, I went to college to be a math teacher, and by the time that I was a senior, I realized that my personality is going to be horrible as far as being a teacher because I am blasting all my students for being stupid and lazy because they ask stupid questions all day long in class. I'm just like, open the effing book, read the first paragraph. It's there. Read, but that's me. I know. It's no other people's fault. Okay, I blame this guy right here, the stuff between my brain. I have little tolerance for a lot of things, and it's not anyone's fault. My wife understand that. Um, but before I end this session, back to exit strategy. Okay, for those that I make this announcement in my auction closing video live chat, but I know a lot of people don't pay attention, you know, because hey, I didn't bid on the auction, so why do I care? Okay, so I will make another separate announcement, but for those that did not follow the auction, I also make the announcement that for the next 7 years, my exit plan include auctioning off and selling off 200 to 300 of my keepers. So starting in the fall, most likely mid October, once a month, I will do a similar auction that I did recently, the same style. What I probably will do is, on like a Monday or Tuesday, I will do a preview. Okay, I will preview real quick, do a short video of like 5 minutes, show off like 20 books. That like, here's a 20 books that I plan to auction off this week. So if you don't see anything you want, you can skip the rest of the auction, right? And then on Thursday, I would then shoot a video. Unlike my past auction, because many of these books are high grade, the good stuff, I then will do a video show you clearly the front and back of each book. Okay, each week, each month, once a month, there will be about 20 books from my personal collection, my pride, my joy, my keepers for the past many decades. Those will hit the market. Okay, um, I will auction them off every month, about 20 books. So every Thursday, I will show a video of 20 books, both front and back. Sometimes it's just an individual book. Sometimes it could be a lot, depending on, if I deem that these books are not worthy to sell one at a time. But once a month, there will be 20 books. So you're talking about 240 books per year over the next 7 years. That's the plan. The plan is to reduce my current 3,000 books into about 1,000. Okay, so that's the plan. So by the time I'm 60 years old, I will have roughly 1,000 of my keepers, things that I will let go the last. The best of stuff. It's not like the best of stuff, it's things that I love to have the most in my collection. Um, I can tell you, it's gonna be my Silver Age X-Men run, my Silver Age Fantastic Four run, and my Silver Age Spider-Man run. Those three, okay, those three will be the core of the remaining 1,000 books, along with all the keys, all the Golden Age keys, all the Bronze keys. A lot of the keys will stay, but I do have a lot of duplicates. So a lot of good stuff will go. So for the next 7 years, yeah. So for those that want me to go away, guess what? This mofo is gonna be here for at least 7 more years. Yeah, yeah, that's right. 7 more years on YouTube selling and auctioning. So you better exercise your thumbs down clicking button. Yeah, keep practicing. Yeah, I ain't going away. Uh, yes, and for sure, those books will get my personal stamp. Okay, of the from the ETA Nick collection. Okay, that people ask me about. So yes, so I look forward to that. It's my exit plan. It has been the plan for many years. I just make that public now, but I talk about that with other people behind the scene for many years. It's not something that I thought about, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. It has always been the plan. It has always been the plan to get rid of a lot of my stuff. Mind you, I start out this process 10 years ago with over 13,000 books. So it has been a long time to this point. Okay, this was huge. This was huge because when I started out with 13,000, I had a lot of this stuff, a lot of this stuff. Okay, stuff that are not investment. So it took a lot of work, a lot of work. It's not easy. I'm telling you, selling is not as easy as you think it is. Okay, trust me. I consign a lot of stuff to Comic Link, and it's easy. It's easier. It's easier to submit the book to CGC, and when it's come back, just contact Comic Link. They sent me the paperwork. I signed the paperwork, and I ship out a big box to Comic Link. Yes, it's a lot easier than listing each individual slabs and deal with people negotiating. The hell with that. I don't deal with that. Homie, don't play that. Jay Boyden asked, "Do you sell on eBay?" Not anymore. I used to a lot. I used to in the old days. By old days, I mean 5 years, 6 years, 7 years ago. But last year was the last year that I sold. I think I sold 7 or 8 slabs on eBay last year. 7 or 8. I think this year I sold one or two, at least one, maybe two. But yeah, I think if you combine this year and last year all together, I think I may have sold maybe 10 slabs on eBay. But it's getting, I, I'm, I, I do very well consigning to My Comic Shop, which they also sell on eBay or Comic Link. So I consign a lot of cheaper stuff. By cheaper stuff, I mean $300 or less to My Comic Shop, and then I ship the rest to Comic Link. If you follow my channel, you see that I occasionally listing for sales on YouTube, and I have tried to sell on Instagram many, many times. I have tried to sell things on Instagram for the past 2 or 3 years with zero. Zero. Okay, let me say this. My exit plan have no Instagram in it because my success with Instagram is a big fat zero. But that's okay. Like I said, when it comes down to selling, okay, I can tell you that I'm not offended. There's many things which people will see. I have a new series that I shot over the past 4 months that I have not yet released. Okay, you know me. a lot of ideas, too much fun on YouTube. So yeah, for those that want me to go away, eh. Um, but one of my one of the series that I shot recently, and I already shot like 5 videos for it, is called Faux Pas. Okay, Faux Pas, comic faux pas, and we'll talk about all the little things I don't like or dislike, things that I consider faux pas in this hobby. But yeah, when it comes down to selling, I'm not offended if someone don't buy the book. There's many faux pas when it comes to people trying to buy books from me, and you had to watch the video to see me blasting a few people for doing the exact thing that I discussed in the faux pas video. Um, Jay Boyden said that he liked eBay more than Comic Link. Feel more personal to you. And that's, my friend, is the exact reason I don't use eBay. Personal. I have no desire to negotiate with anyone. I'm okay. I'm okay to consign my books, and if it go for cheap in a Comic Link auction, I'm okay with that. That's the price I'm willing to accept because I have zero desire to negotiate. Okay? You see my books, you see my price, they are very fair. I have plenty of people that are happy with the way I price my stuff. I do not, will not ever negotiate people that want crazy, stupid deals because that's how they are. Okay, some people are not happy with 20% discount. Some people expect crazy discount because they are my friends. No, no, ain't gonna happen. I have so little patience with back and forth kind of negotiation. I mean, I had a guy um, offer me something crazy on a listing on eBay. I had something on eBay that I listed last year that was 4 figures. Okay, it's over $1,000, and he came back with an offer of like 500. It's like half of fair value, and then I turned it down, and then he bumped it up by $5, and then he bumped it up by another $5. I mean, took him 5 try to raise the bid from from 500 to 525. I'm like, really? You really think that I'm gonna accept any of that stupid effing offer? Nah. But that's the kind of stuff that I don't really have patience with as far as it's eBay. It's a lot of nonsense. Like if I consign that book to Comic Link and it sell for 800, I don't care. Okay, I have been in this hobby long enough that there are books that I sold that I felt is cheap through Comic Link, and then I get some crazy prices on other books. So I'm okay. Win some, lose some. The bottom line is if you don't pay a lot, like me, I'm a pretty good shopper, so I'm okay with not winning big all the time. If I'm winning, I'm winning. Okay, so I don't care if I get only 20% return on that flip, because there's plenty of flip that are over 100%. Yeah, baby, winning. Christopher Joy, I like it. My biggest faux pas, I will give you. my That's one of my faux pas. The other faux pas is how low will you go, bro? How low will you go? Oh, I love that. I love that line. How low will you go? Not low enough. uh, do you think it is easier to negotiate when you are face to face? Not with this face. You know why? Not with this face? Because you know me. I wear my emotion on my face. And if you say something stupid to me, You're offering some stupid number to me. This face will say it all. Okay, this face will give you that look like, are you effing stupid? Yeah, it's I don't lie well because I have my face says it all. Whether I can never play poker face to face. Okay, I can play poker better online because this face can never lie. If you say something stupid, just like in the chat room, there's a lot of people that make sensible question. Okay, once again, my apology because that's my personality. If you ask me something, I'm sure the question is legit. I'm sure the question is not offensive. I'm sure the question is not irritating to 99.9999999% of the people out there. It's just that that's the way I am. Okay, that's why I exist on YouTube. I mentioned many times, I don't have a face for TV. I don't have a voice for radio. That's why I am on YouTube. I don't need to have those quality to be on YouTube. Woo! Right? It's 11:02. Oh, how time passed so fast. Too much fun. See, when you have so much fun on YouTube, why would I want to quit this, right? Anyhow, thank you everyone for joining me on this Sunday chat. It's not a weekly thing, so I might not have another chat until a couple weeks. For the few people that have not checked out yet on the auction winning, you know who you are. There's I think only like 3 or 4 people left that has not paid to get checked out. Please do so. Contact me with your address so that I can figure out the shipping. I have shipped many things Friday and Saturday, so many people will receive their boxes on Monday or Tuesday. Hope you're happy. Certainly, I hope you enjoy the auction enough to come back in the fall, mid October, when the good stuff will start to flow. Uh, have a good Sunday. Time for me to get ready to make bacon, eggs, and toast, and pancakes, and all that good stuff. Oh, I did not see your comic Crip stocks. Did you see my AF-15 video? Not, I did not see what the result is yet of that book, so I can't wait to see it. Thanks for letting me know. I was not aware that the result is back, so let me see. I'm pretty sure you did well. Okay, from what I saw with that book, I'm pretty sure you and your investors uh, will be very happy with the result. But I will check it out after lunch. Bye bye.